one day, Chris McLean decided that he had an idea of 11 characters and another 11 characters. These 22 players altogether, he wondered why. Why am I putting these into a season? Little they know, that was me. Because these are my top 10 or top 11 total drama characters and my bottom 11 total drama characters. So, I'm going to be making a season out of them. I have already done all of the orders, and I want you guys to guess who the final two are going to be. And trust me, you will never guess. So as you can see here, we have Cody, Ezekiel, Harold, Sean, Noah, Scott, Kitty, Dawn, Z, Tyler, and Heather. And then we have Dave, Amy, Leonard, Sugar, Rodney, Stephanie, Taylor, Tammy, Mike, Stacy, and Beth. So for the first episode, we have a non-elimination with zero things happening other than just talking, and then we have the cliff jump challenge. Surprisingly enough, everybody in teams and this team right here does jump. Hold on, I'm getting my stuff up at the same time. And Ezekiel gets eliminated because they decide, you know what, when in doubt, vote for Ezekiel. The next episode is Evil Dread. And let's get started on talking about some of these alliances here. Dave and Mike are kind of chill, but Dave thinks Mike is a little weird. The reason why I have Mike and not Mal is because one, this tier list does not have Mal on it as a separate character, which, by the way, I love when tier lists put Feral Ezekiel and Human Ezekiel as different characters, as well as Mike and Mal. The other Mike personalities I don't think are substantial compared to Mal. Characters like Beth, Tammy, and Leonard are kind of chill. Amy and Stephanie are kind of getting together and being like heh heh heh, along with Sugar. Then for here we have the Nerd Boys, Cody and Harold. Noah's trying to get in on there, also brings in Kitty. Sean is trying to get in with the others. Z's chill with everyone. Tyler is also pretty much chill with everyone. Heather is definitely not, though. Dawn and Scott are on the outlier, but they do talk about what happened between them, and it's kind of like, you know, it was for the game. Scott mentions that he did feel a little bit bad about it. He felt like it was kind of too easy. But at the same time, you know, she kind of deserved it, so she ends up hating him after that. However, in Evil Dread, the next challenge, Stacy is eliminated as she talks throughout the whole challenge. The next one is Paintball Deer Hunter. And in this team loses, which eliminates Rodney, as Rodney was distracted by the two girls on the other team and the girls on his own team. As Rodney, I don't think there's any way to write him better. You just kind of created like a character with like a stopping point right there. You know, congratulations, you create a character that I don't really even think I can find like a decent character arc for. Maybe him respecting himself and stop putting women like above him. I don't know. But the next one is Ice Ice Baby with the forts, and weirdly enough, Mike is able to get the flag faster than Sean, who ends up just a little bit short, and everybody unanimously agrees they probably need to vote for Heather, so Heather is eliminated next. Next we have Pirates of the Cabbagean. The team of my least favorite characters loses this one, as both Amy and Stephanie want to be captain, same as in the reboot. However, instead of one knocking the other off the boat, they just fight with the wheel and end up crashing, which causes their boat to sink just a tiny bit, and Stephanie is eliminated. Besides, she would be a challenge beast anyway, and I don't really want to deal with that post-merge. Next we have Blast from the Past. Let me look that one up real quick. Drama. Okay, that one's the stick dueling showdown, and the person who is eliminated here is going to be Sugar. The little nerdy alliance here realized that, hey, maybe we should get rid of the very annoying person who, despite being really good at challenges, does not seem to care whether we live or die. So they eliminate her here. Next we have One Flew Over the Cuckoos. Now this one, the team of characters I hate the most wins. However, no one is eliminated from the team of characters that I love the most. So, no one is eliminated in One Flew Over the Cuckoos, which is good because, you know, we need reward challenges every now and then. Next we have Picnic at Hanging Dork, where they have to shoot the sheep and stuff like that. And the team that loses this is the team that has the least amount of synergy at the moment, which is the team of characters that I hate, thus eliminating Leonard, because Amy convinces Dave to vote with her and Taylor against Leonard. Meanwhile, Beth and Taylor and Leonard, well, Beth votes for a different person. Wait, why did I say Taylor? Tammy and Leonard both vote for Mike because they have like a weird sense with him. Meanwhile, Beth's like, come on guys, we gotta vote for someone else. And then Leonard is ultimately eliminated. Next we have Super Happy Crazy Fun Time Japan. In this one, Harold creates a pretty great movie. However, Sean ends up destroying it at the last second due to thinking he saw something that was a zombie, which was actually created by Dave. Dave's arc over this time is to realize that, you know, maybe he's okay on his own and he needs to respect people for... He needs to respect women's opinions or whatever. So, Sean is eliminated there. Besides, was he really gonna win anyway? You know how I don't like to make people win twice. Ooh, hint for who's going to win this. Next we have Dodge Brawl. And in this one, weirdly enough, Mike, Amy, and even Beth carry in this one, thus making it so that one of the team of characters that I love goes home, and the person that they are going to eliminate is the person who didn't even try, as Noah had already learned his lesson from last time of not being a fucking pussy. So Z is eliminated in Dodge Brawl. Next we have the launch back of Notre Dame, in which everybody sustains a lot of pain, and yet no one is eliminated. Next we have Basic Straining, you know, the one where they gotta go through Chef's Boot Camp. And the person eliminated here is Taylor, as she does not want to do it whatsoever. However, we've already made it to merge. One person was brought back by popular audience demand. One second. And that was Z. That's right. You didn't have to go for too many episodes without Z, huh? So, in this one, people were doing great in the challenge. This is IC London, and obviously a Ripper was going out to get people. It was one of the eliminated contestants. And so the people were slowly grabbed one by one. The first one was Scott and Dawn, who were arguing. The next were Tyler, who was left behind, same as in the original. Cody and Noah were talking it up. I don't want to say what they were talking about. Then Beth. Mike was caught while trying to save Dave. Harold was surprised from the back. Then we had Amy, Kitty, Z, and then Tammy, who was getting all the clues right. However, they were all caught, which means that Ezekiel was brought back. That's right, Ezekiel was the Ripper, and this time he did his job right. He apologized profusely afterwards, and they realized they had to send someone home, and it wasn't going to be Zeke because he had immunity. So, they got rid of Tammy. However, over the next episode, Ezekiel really got on with Scott. He was chill with characters like Cody, not Noah, but also Tyler and Z especially. Heck, even with Harold, they bonded over being outcasts. And Dave tried to bring in some alpha male, Andrew Tate stuff, and Ezekiel shut it down. So that alliance is not on the table. Kitty, after hearing that, had to talk with Dave, though, about it, and they ended up having kind of a interesting conversation about what really was the problem there and how it was really both of them, but Dave needs to admit his own wrongdoings. However, Cody is eliminated due to a lot of people seeing his potential of alliances. The next one is Truth or Laser Shark, where Beth admits something very, very damning, because God knows that girl is a horrible person. And the person who wins this is going to be Ezekiel, because Ezekiel got nothing to hide. Next we have Chinese Fake Out, in which we finally get rid of Dave. He cannot stomach the food. In fact, most of these people can't stomach the food. The person who does win is the person who can stomach the food, which is Scott. Next we have Hide and Be Sneaky, where people have to hide from Chef, and we get Z eliminated again. Okay, so the reasoning for why Z was eliminated here is obviously because my guy can form too many alliances, but he also really pisses everyone off with how he acts, because, sometimes he's too chill of a guy. I'm gonna be real. Next we have Fear Factor, where everybody has to face their fears. We get more of a deep dive into each of these characters individually, and they eliminate Scott. Not because he got voted for, but because my guy, he had a very bad reaction to seeing Fang. Very bad reaction. Next we have Superhero Id, where Harold completely dominates the challenge, and they Dawn and eliminate Dawn. Yeah. Even though Dawn had pretty good relationships with people, people still felt that she was a little bit weird, and they saw her as a threat with her ability to kind of teleport and read auras, especially Amy, as she tried to stay away from Dawn as much as possible during this season. Next we have planes, trains, and hot air balloons, in which the person who makes it last to the finish line is out. Ezekiel and Harold kind of bond together and try to get far. Tyler is able to work with Kitty, and Noah and Mike try to work together. However, Mike makes it there last and is eliminated. Next we have Top Dog. I have to remind myself of what that one was about. Oh yeah, this was about training animals, and the person who is eliminated here is going to be Noah, who gets friggin' mauled by his small, cute animal. And afterwards, gets a little bit mean to people. I'm gonna be real. Except for Kitty, he likes her. Next we have Grand Theft Auto, where the winner is Tyler. Tyler realizes he can really put his all into anything and kind of come out on top. However, he doesn't really have the brains for much else, which is shown in Sunday Muddy Sunday, where they actually do have the regular challenge, and, well, Tyler does have a lot of clumsy tendencies and does not make it very far during the challenge. The person who wins this one is going to be Kitty, and Tyler is eliminated. Or not Tyler, Kitty, sorry. Amy is going to win this one, and Tyler is going to be eliminated, thus giving us 4 characters. So, the next challenge will be Crouching Courtney, Hidden Owen, where Harold trains Ezekiel, and Amy trains Kitty. However, sadly enough, Ezekiel and Harold lose it, and Kitty and Amy pushes Kitty down so that she can win the challenge, thus giving her immunity. And the person being eliminated is Ezekiel. He made some pretty good bonds with people. He didn't come in last place, and he's proud of that. Next we have Off the Hook, which is the challenge from the reboot where people get hooked and stuff like that and go into things with their fear. And Harold absolutely dominates this challenge, even though Amy is trying her best to hook other people. This is Amy's thing where she has to deal with getting hooked over and over again by Kitty and Harold as they team up for a nerd influencer duo, or nerd popular girl duo. And Amy is eliminated, and you know what? Frick it, we'll do something with her hair. Her hair is going to be spray painted bright green. Or actually, how about we make it puke green? We're gonna make it puke green. Next, we have the final challenge with both of them in white. Did you expect these two? I'm sure you didn't. And for the canon winner, it is going to be Harold. Harold's been doing great in all the challenges. So has Kitty. Kitty's played a better social game, while Harold's played a better physical game. And he keeps on going under the radar, as his usual thing of people forgetting every cool thing that he's ever done as soon as they feel it's needed to does happen, except for people who he made friends with. Harold made a lot of friends in here, Kitty made friends with almost everyone, and we had a lot of small character arcs in here. Anyway, that was the season with characters that I both love and hate. Well, not really hate. Hate is a strong word. Dislike. How about that? So make sure to go outside, compliment someone's hair, and make the world a little bit of a better place. Bye-bye!